And he said, okay, come tomorrow. Come tomorrow, 5 o'clock in the morning. And I just come to him and he allowed me to start to learn with him, but practice with him. So through the breath, because we inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose all the time, so you really quiet the mind, no? And this is what one sutra say, the yoga priti nirodha. I don't know if you hear about this one, no? To stop the fluctuation of the mind. The boiler room is just my yoga shala. It's my house where I build my yoga studio for me and for the people who want to learn with me.
Welcome to this new episode, and today I'm here with Michael. How are you, Michael?
Good, thank you so much.
Very good. So Michael is a yoga teacher and the founder of the Boiler Room, which is a yoga shala in Koh Phangan. So I'm very interested in learning more about you, Michael. First of all, what is your story in life?
Since I was 11 years old, I started with fitness. No, I started to train because since I was very young, I was very connected with nature because I come from Patagonia, south of Chile.
Beautiful.
So I was fly fishing all the time, so all the time in the nature. So I start to, I don't know, look in the sky, and I always the weird one, no? In the school all the time, I try to look to find something, another meaning in life because I was like, oh, okay, if this is it in life, it's too boring for me. So I had to be something. So I was trying to look for something else, but at that time in Patagonia was nothing too much available. No, so the only thing who I find was gym and training. And in the gym, when I train with the endorphins and everything, I start to understand a little bit more about some things start to happen to me. Start to run and everything, to do martial arts. And then after many years, I find yoga. No, but when I was 18 years old, no, I found yoga. And then, well, I start with different styles, no? Different styles, this and that. And I always want to try Ashtanga Yoga, no? But all the teachers say to me, always take care because this is gonna break your body and gonna injure yourself, so don't go. So it's like a big competition always, like between Iyengar and Ashtanga and all these things. So I always was looking in the mirror and like, you know, in the mirror in the window, and looking inside and want to enter. So finally one day I go, and then I get hooked, no, because it was amazing. So I saw, okay, this is it. This is what I want to really learn, because I see the system, how everybody was sweating inside, the breathing, everything, and it was super stiff because I was coming from martial art and fitness and like 120 kilos, full muscle, I don't lift my head, I can do nothing. But I understand immediately when I see, observe, and the listen of the breath, how the people sweat inside. So I don't know, something I discovered something amazing. I want to learn all about this. So then I start to practice. But in Chile, very fast I realized I didn't gonna find good teachers there because Chile is very far away. So need to start to see who was the best teachers in the world. You know? So I started to find, there was not too much internet at that time too. So then I find John Scott and Richard Freeman, who are like the top guys, and many other guys, no? And Mysore, of course, who is the mecca of Ashtanga Yoga in Mysore. So then I started to save money because I was young, I didn't have any money, so I had to just try. My family didn't help me in nothing because I thought I'm cuckoo completely, because all my family was farmers and everything. And what are you doing? Yoga, okay, nice, but what are you gonna do with life? You have to do something to make money. So I said, I don't know, but I like to do this. So then I start to just practice and practice and practice, and then I start to go to work to Tierra del Fuego. It's an island to fly fishing, and I start to make like a fly fishing operation, and I start to save money, and then when I get my money, and then I go out. No, I go to New Zealand.
New Zealand?
Yeah.
Wow.
And there was John Scott. No, and I didn't know too much at that time who was really John Scott, and then discovered that when I was there. No, he was like, he's one of the top teacher in the world from Ashtanga, no? And he was super expensive. It was like $1,200 per week.
Wow.
So I just knock his in the house and I say, hi John, how are you? I'm a practitioner of Ashtanga. I really want to practice with you, but I cannot pay to you. This is so impossible. And he said, okay, come tomorrow. Come tomorrow, 5 o'clock in the morning. And I just come to him, and he allowed me to start to learn with him, but practice with him. So we practice together before he teach.
Even better than you have you have him as a one-to-one teacher.
But he didn't teach me nothing. He just practiced with me. He didn't say nothing to me. He just put the mat, and I put the mat by his side, and then we practice together. No? And then after I spent 1 year with him, no, together. And then he said, okay, you can pay me, you can work for me, on the way who you can pay to me. So I started to work with him. It was kind of Karate Kid, was super nice. We was all day together. We practice, and then we plant trees. We chop a lot of wood and do a lot of jobs and everything, no? So it was super nice to see, observe how he lived, and was a very amazing example to me, how you can do your practice and have a family too and do all your things in life. And amazing, full power, super strong guy. A lot of people were human, so his ego always is there, no? So and they have a lot of ego too, because they are very powerful too and very strong. So it's okay. And well, after that, then he said to me, okay, now you can come at 4 o'clock, because he have a teacher training. And he kind of, I think he can try to test me if I really don't want to do this. So I just wake up at 3 o'clock and go 4 o'clock. And then he changed to 3 o'clock in the morning. So it was really, really difficult. Waking up in New Zealand in winter, super crazy. And then I have to go 3 o'clock, practice with him. And then I was picking apples too in New Zealand to make some extra money. So finish to him, go to picking apples, and then go to him to work with him and planting trees and chopping wood, and everything was completely broke, destroyed, everything. But I was young, and when you are young, you can do whatever you do. No?
But the motivation you had is really, really something, because most people would have not really had the consistency of complete. I mean, of course, you were lucky in a way that you had such an inspirational teacher, somebody so strong in the Ashtanga system that was willing to give you a chance, so to speak. But then you took the whole chance and really made the most of it, which is really remarkable.
Because I don't know, my personality, I think some people are like this. I'm very intense, and everything what I pick, I really go to the extreme. I'm very extreme. I know it's not good, but in some things, sometimes to learn some things is very good, because you get everything. Then of course you break your body or something, but you learn so many lessons and everything. Like in jiu-jitsu, before I was doing a lot of jiu-jitsu, going to Rio de Janeiro, and I was going to the races and everything, and I was full to commitment, full training all day for 6 months to Rio. So I did the same then with this. Go full. I say if I have to die, I don't care, but I'm gonna go 100% with this. I want to learn everything about this. So I wake up every day like you feel like your body is destroyed, your back and pain and everything, and then you just go. And you have this thing in the mind you want to.
That's how target. That's how you master something, I think if you talk to somebody, like as a tennis player, for instance, I don't know, like Djokovic or any of them, like Nadal, they just focus on it 100%. The whole life is focused on that. And maybe you have a similar kind of like winner personality where you really want to go into it and you're full on with it, and that's how you are able then to really learn and master the practice. Yeah,
I think my personality is like this, no? I think it's very difficult, but for me it's not in my nature, so I just go full on. So I see some people now very lazy, they don't go. I say, oh, I have a pain, and it's like, after everything what we was going through, if you really want to learn, you have to put yourself in commitment. It's like you say, like every kind of professional or tennis or player or something, you have to go like, don't forget about everything in just one thing. Any method, I don't know what, but one method, and stick with that one for at least 10 years and do it.
Go very deep.
Yeah, go deep. If you want to learn, depending on your objective. I think.
Your experience in New Zealand reminds me of a traditional way of teaching yoga in India, which is the Guru Kula, where indeed a young practitioner would spend time with the guru and chop his wood and cook his food and do karma yoga all the time, and then learn directly from the guru.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating that, even in New Zealand, with of course a Western teacher, he kind of like tested you the same way.
Yeah, this is amazing from him, because he gave me the opportunity, because some now they say no, if you cannot pay, go. But I don't know, they see to me, young guy, 19 years old, I think, or something, and okay, they accept me. So it was amazing. I always gonna be so grateful for him, because he gave me the opportunity, and it really marked me very strong, because I learned so much with him, like little things, little details, like nobody teach these things now, and it's very difficult to get these little things, because you really have to be with somebody, live with him, to get this absorb, all these things.
Yeah, and Ashtanga is such a dedicated practice, and is such a structured practice that I think once you reach a certain point, it's all about the fine details, isn't it?
Yeah, it's stages. In the beginning, you just focus in the outside of the body, the posture. You want to go to the posture, and then you go deeper inside. And it depends how deeper you want to go. You can go, and then. Yeah, there are many stories. I was very close to die too, because I was putting my body to an extremity, because I started to read all the old books, Hatha Yoga Pradipika and all these books, and what you have to do to achieve this. So I said, okay, I have to do this, and the diet and this and that and this lifestyle. But it was too much, I starved myself, I didn't eat, and fasting for a long time, many months. But I feel what happened. I really connect, and I don't know if I was enlightened, but I feel like I get enlightened. Maybe I'm wrong, but I was feeling like really, And I was in one moment of my life, I said, okay, I can just leave my body now and go, because I don't want nothing more here. I don't need nothing. I don't want nothing. I'm super quiet and calm. I just can go. But then fear coming, I say, no. I think just stay here, enjoy everything in life, and then I start to find the balance. But this was many years before, after John Scott and everything. Yes.
Continuously
practicing, and then go to India and other teachers, and going to Mysore many years, and many practice. And the practices really take you to some places super.
For sure. It's fascinating, and it's very interesting that you have this background in fitness and jiu-jitsu, etc. And then you ended up in yoga. And do you see the you say when you do physical activity in a structured way and consistently, you get a ton of endorphins. So you put in your effort, and then you are automatically rewarded by the endocrine system that produces these wonderful chemicals and make you feel at peace and calm and relaxed.
Yeah.
And that's across any kind of sport or physical activity. But what is the yoga system that gives you more? You mentioned already this feeling of leaving your body, transcendence almost. So how do you explain it to people that maybe they're doing physical activity and they're trying out yoga, and they starting to feel the difference between the two?
Work with the nadis in the body. Some people don't believe in these things. Some people believe in energy. Some people don't believe in these things. I really feel it. It's like something where you can taste. Like the Chinese, they call it meridians. We in India they call it nadis. So I think you clean all the nadis, in the body, and then your energy flow inside of the body, and the practice is developed to clean all the nervous system inside. So through the breath, because we inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose all the time. So you really quiet the mind, and this is what one sutra say, the yoga priti nirodha. I don't know if you hear about this one, to stop the fluctuation of the mind.
Yeah.
So then you really stop the mind, and your mind gets super quiet, And with the other sport, I didn't feel that, That
not the same level.
Of course, I feel amazing with all the endorphins and everything, but not this stillness, like really stillness in the body, because you do all this asana and you put your legs behind the head, jumping back, jumping through, and then after finish the practice, you feel really in a state of blessing, and the body really relaxed, and you can sit for hours. I was in the beach, I remember, for 6-8 hours. Just sitting, super calm and super peace, and I see everybody was moving around, you feel like a plant,
Awesome.
Yeah.
So obviously, you started with the Ashtanga system.
Yeah.
You mastered the Ashtanga system for many years,
Yeah.
and then now you are at a stage where you are sort of taking this very good background and adapting it to your changing body. Or why did you choose to sort of
Yeah.
develop something out of the Ashtanga, making your own sort
Yeah.
of way of teaching?
Yeah. Well, after John Scott, I was going to Mysore. No? This is my plan, always go to Mysore. So then I go to Mysore and I make 8 trips to Mysore. No, I was working, saving money, go to Mysore. 6 months in Mysore and sometimes 6 months in Goa with Rolf. Rolf is another amazing yoga teacher, Ashtanga. So everybody was in this kind of tour, going to Mysore and Goa. No, going to Mysore. Okay, so then after that, I get super, not advanced because in Ashtanga it's not limit, no? You can go to 6 series in Ashtanga. And I just finished the 3rd series and that was super more than enough for me because then I started to get a lot of injuries and a lot of things and couldn't walk sometimes for 6 months.
And how old were you at the time?
When I finished with Ashtanga, 35 years old,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Because when you're 18 or 20, it's different body as well. Although you can, of course, you can build the body and continuously.
Yeah, when
make
you are
it
young, your
healthy.
body can go, but then it's like elastic and broken. The joints start to, and you don't eat well too, because you have to follow this diet supposedly, and or normally you cannot eat because if you eat, you get too heavy, and then the next day you cannot practice because your body is heavy. So then you don't give it enough nutrition. And I was very, always I take care of my nutrition. I research everything. I take all the supplements and the vitamins because I was vegan for a long time. Then raw food because 2011, I think it was like a fashion thing. Everybody started with the raw food, the slow juicers and everything. So I tried to combine everything to make like a biohacking of the body with the nutrition, with the yoga, with everything. But it was too much and too extreme. So then I find the balance. Like when I was like after all the injuries and all the pains and all getting anemia and a lot of problem, like health problems too. So then I slowly start to feel okay. I need to get the balance. And I go into India and I see everybody was depressed and sad. Not everybody, but many people, myself too, because it was a lack of something. No? It was too extreme. And too many injuries. All the people who I start to talk about, they was 50, 60 years old, they was completely broke.
That's not good, right? It is a little bit a rumor about the Ashtanga kind of world in a way that sometimes some people push it to an extreme, they keep it for too long, the body ages a little bit and then they cannot keep up with it and then have injuries, micro injuries, major injuries, and then you're off for 6 months or even a year. I met people that broke, they broke their back, etc. And that's not the yoga system as a whole. This is just Ashtanga going extreme. Because if you look at the yoga system as a whole, like you reach enlightenment effortlessly almost. That's in the Pratipika as well. It's one of the rules. Not overexert.
Yeah, but in India, the yoga teachers in India, they have different mentality. You have to go through pain, to suffering. You see these sadhus. One sadhu is with the arm like this for like I don't know how many years, and he's dead. So they go to all these rituals to get the light, like the Buddha. Remember all the story when he tried all these things, almost he killed himself too, to try to reach enlightenment, and then he find the balance, like with the strings of the, to find. You have to be in the middle, you cannot go to the extreme. But if I didn't go to the extreme, I didn't understand what's happening.
Yeah, you have to try it on yourself.
Yeah, and then when I see now the people, I try to explain because I see that when they are young, like myself, and the teacher come to me, I remember the teacher come to me, take care of your knee, this and that, and you think, okay, I can do because you are young and strong, and you think nothing gonna happen. And then boom, I broke my knee, my meniscus, both meniscus.
And I think also there are different stages, as you said. This is the phase of the body. When we are younger, we got such a beautiful, strong body, can give us a lot of satisfaction. We want to make the most of it. And then, we can identify more with the philosophy or the thoughts or the mind, or maybe we have a project in life, etc. So we move from the pleasure and the identification of the body to the one of the mind, and also some people also start identifying with their soul and the spirit, and that's where maybe you move from a more physical practice onto more of a meditation kind of practice, which in Ashtanga is there, but is not very strongly promoted, right?
Yeah, but this automatically, this is because many people say, oh, you don't do meditation. But this is because they don't understand the method, and when you don't experience, but when you practice for many years and you repeat and repeat and repeat.
That's a meditation in itself.
Then
Just a dynamic
it's so
meditation.
natural for you, it's like walking. So you don't think anymore, and when you start to, some movement in meditation in movement, all the time. So your body start to flow with the breath, and it's amazing meditation. And then I keep that feeling for the rest of the day. So for me, everything is a meditation. When I go to the shower, when I go driving, when I go to shopping, because the breathing is super quiet and slow. You don't have to sit and meditate. I don't need. I can do, but I don't need, because when I do my practice in the morning, it's amazing meditation. And then I stay in all this day in the state. Now I look at the trees, and this state is.
That's lovely. That's lovely. I really like that. And I was in Mysore myself for a month about 4 years ago, and I was in Gokulam. Yeah. And I met all the Ashtanga practitioners indeed, and they're all very grounded people, and very serious practitioners of yoga. They get up very early in the morning because that's what the practice requires, and they practice every day. Not when the moon. Apart from the moon.
Yeah, new moon, full moon, no practice. And in India we wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and 4 o'clock is a practice. So when you are like, before it was 6 months allowed, then they changed the rules for 3 months. But when 6 months was crazy, because after 3 months you hear the alarm in the morning, and it's great. And then
it takes a lot of dedication indeed. But that's this Ashtanga system. It's a beautiful system indeed. I was also there for a little while, as I mentioned, and my practice, asana practice is hatha, and then I do pranayama, and also I do transcendental meditation, which is mantra meditation. It's also called the Laya yoga in some sort of ways. But tell me about the boiler room, because I have like some friends. They come to your class all the time. They talk very enthusiastically about what you're doing there, because it's quite a cool thing you're doing. Can you explain what is the boiler room?
The boiler room is just my yoga shala. It's my house where I build my yoga studio for me and for the people who want to learn with me. So always I do like this. All the country, I build like 7 yoga shala. I started with my first one in 2011 in Santiago de Chile with a friend, and we built the first one in apartment, in the living room. And then always I think this is the really important thing, to make the yoga shala, make the yoga house of the teacher. You have to live there. This is traditional, all the time it's like this. Because when you go to a center, it's completely different. Because you pay and everything, and people complain. Sometimes they go to complain and they go to the teacher, and it's not the way. You have to be in your space. They have to be your energy, and nobody can complain here. They have to come and accept the rules. This is the rules I put.
If
they don't like it, the door is fixed, and you can go another place.
And what kind of style do you teach them?
Now I teach Ashtanga Yoga and Vinyasa Krama. Okay.
Krama.
Vinyasa Krama is from Krishnamacharya. This is what Krishnamacharya teach. His son, because he died already. So now the teacher who I follow is Matthew Sweeney. Matthew Sweeney was one of the very, very advanced Ashtangis too. But then, he's super clever. He's brilliant. He's amazing. Well, after all the teachers who I find in the world, this is I cannot say it's better, because everybody's different. But I really, really appreciate what he did in this system and everything. He's super brilliant. And he created this method with the Krishnamacharya Vinyasa Krama. And he created 6 series, very similar to the 6 series of Ashtanga, but he modified it. He take all the bad things about Ashtanga, like what broke your body, and put the good things, and lift some things, and modify some things. So it's very clever for me, because I want to keep this practice forever. I want to be able to practice
when
until 70 or 80, but Ashtanga is impossible. It's not sustainable with the time, when you reach 60, 70.
That's what I was talking about. Like,
Yeah.
there's some people then they do the more conventional meditation, like Vipassana style, etc. when they're old.
Yeah.
Because it's hard indeed to bend into the positions all the time when you're getting older. Whereas with this system from Sweeney, do you think you'll be able to
you
actually,
can
when you can be 70 and still do it?
Yeah, you can do. Yeah, it's super. After Ashtanga, this is super, and it's amazing because I feel the same benefits, no, when I was doing third series, no, in Ashtanga, or intermediate left class in Mysore, and then I do this practice in just 1 hour because physiologically, supposedly you have to train or whatever physically 1 hour. After 1 hour, you start to drain yourself too much. Not what that happened with Ashtanga. I really get super tired, super exhausted, and it's too much. Sometimes I was practicing 3 hours, no, and then you eat a little bit, and then you get super skinny. I was like 74 kilos, I remember, super skinny, super weak. So this practice allowed me to do everything. I can do my practice. I can climb a mountain. I can do jiu-jitsu, martial art. I can swim. I can do everything, and I can keep my practice.
Michael, do you do, or are you planning to do any teacher trainings on the island?
Yeah, we were thinking to make a teacher training, but we are very clear with the students, about the teacher training is not to become a teacher, just to get a little bit more knowledge about the practice, So if you want to go a little bit deeper, but this is, you don't gonna become a teacher with this. I don't gonna give you a certification of a teacher. It's a TTC, but it's just to improve your knowledge. If you want to go more deeper and you want to know some things, okay? But for me, the teacher trainings are completely making a mess, a little bit, because for being a teacher is like being a doctor. It's not. I'm not talking about my ego because I sound a little bit egocentric sometimes, and many people fight about. I don't fight with anybody anymore because I don't want to spend energy with these things. But what the people do, whatever.
It's their problem.
But it's a mess because I really love what I do, and for us, for the people who really practice for many years, it's like a kind of what is going on? It's you go to 1 month teacher training and then you are a teacher.
So if you want to try and experience Michael's yoga, you're welcome at the Boiler Room. And I want to know though, I mean, you lived in different places, you experienced the world. Why did you choose Koh Phangan as your home now?
Koh Phangan, I come since 2001. I come to Koh Phangan. I was coming all the time. I was living in a hippie community and Riverside community in New Zealand. So somebody said to me about Koh Phangan. Because in that time not too many people knew about this. And then I just come for 1 month, and I was in Vietnam, and I loved the place. For me it was magical. I feel the energy was amazing. I get so healthy, so strong here, and then I have to come every year. So I start to come every year, and then I start to come for 2 months, 3 months, and then I come for 5 months, and then I come and back, and then COVID come, and then I say, okay, I'm just stay here, and then I just build my yoga shala and I stay here, and I think for, I don't know for how long, but for
it's
many
flowing
years.
At the moment.
Yes, it's flowing.
That's lovely. So we are definitely neighbors of the island.
Yeah.
Well, Michael, thank you very much for sharing your knowledge and being part of my channel today. It's been a pleasure getting to know you.
Thank you so much.